Rojas, a fighter who is coming off of 6 consecutive wins. He got back together with trainer Vincent Parra in California, and the Texan has yet to lose with that trainer who he knew from his days back in Dallas, Texas, starting off his young career. Both guys have a lot to prove this evening. Rojas does not want to be anybody's stepping stone to greatness, and Verdejo can ill afford another loss. He told us, I'm in the crosshairs, and if Top Rank sees that I'm not committed to this, this could be the end of my run.
You know, right now both guys are taking a look at one another, trying to gather range, you know, trying to land their jabs, trying to get their rhythm. You know, it's seemingly right now, it looks like Rojas is trying to pressure Verdejo. He's trying to get close.
On ESPN, as we start round 2 of a scheduled 10-round fight here, El Diamante Verdejo, I called him the eternal prospect because by age 26, Tim, people thought he'd be a 2-3 division champion by now.
Yeah, you know, he was scheduled to actually, you know, fight for a world championship, and he suffered a motorcycle accident, and that started all the setbacks after that.
Now he has a chance to get it all back, but in front of him is Manuel Rey Rojas out of Dallas, Texas, who said, look, I know that Verdejo is a front runner. Yeah. I feel that if I can take him deep, he loses his stamina, and that's why for him, it's about biding his time and making sure he wears down the Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, Verdejo right now is just picking his spots. He's using a good jab, good stiff jab, and a nice little short left hook right there from him. You know, this is going to be a boxing fight. You know, both guys are really taking their time, really trying to fill out one another. You see Rojas getting a little aggressive right there and catches Verdejo with a nice right hand over the top of his jab. But the fight should pick up midway point, I believe. Beautiful uppercut right there from Verdejo.
Verdejo knows that Rojas is susceptible to that left hook. He was stopped by Andy Vences in his last defeat 7 fights ago. And Verdejo trying to work that left hook downstairs and upstairs.
Good job by Verdejo sliding behind that jab of Rojas to land 2 hard body shots, and he lands another hard body shot with the right hand on Rojas.
Nice left uppercut from Verdejo. Nice jab counter from Rojas. So Rojas not taking a step back, and you see that stick once again, making the head of Verdejo snap backwards. They call Rojas the Punisher. He's got very little knockouts. He's only got 5 knockouts and 18 wins. He says, but they call me that because when I was a kid, I never had the power, but I would beat the bleep out of all my opponents.
You know, I didn't have a whole lot of punching power either, but, you know, I was really aggressive in there as well. And Rojas, what he's good at is he's good at getting in position to land his combinations. Right now, he's having a hard time because Verdejo is picking his spots wisely and keeping his distance with his jabs. But let me tell you, once Rojas gets in position, he's going to let those combinations fly. And
something that you'll notice is the inflammation in the left eye of Felix Verdejo. He broke the orbital bone in that motorcycle accident, and ever since, as soon as he gets touched, he starts to swell up. So that's something to watch out for in this fight early on. It's a good fight between Verdejo and Rojas here at Turning Stone Resort and Casino to see what Felix Verdejo brings into this fight. And there in round number 2, he showed his effectiveness with a solid uppercut.
Yeah, he threw an uppercut, threw a right hand right here. But look at his eyes. He sees Rojas leaning forward just a tad bit, and then he brings a short right uppercut right up the middle as Rojas tried to land a combination.
Rojas said, look, I have the mentality of a slugger. I don't have the power, so I'm going to try to box a lot more against Felix Verdejo and make sure I make him work because I know that I can tire him out and take him into deep water.
That's not how you beat a guy like Verdejo. You know, Verdejo's a really good boxer. You beat a guy like Verdejo because you got to take it to him.
That's what Antonio Lozada did when Verdejo suffered his first professional loss. And Verdejo's had very tough 10th rounds. He went down against Lozada when he was stopped, and he was hurt in his last fight against Brian Vasquez. So I see where Rojas is going with that, but once you pressure him like we just saw Rojas landing shots, That's the key.
That's what Rojas needs to do. He needs to get close. He needs to let his hands go. You know, start with the jab, beat down to Verdejo's body, and then come over the top.
Oh, nice counter right hand from Felix Verdejo. I mean, this is the Verdejo we expected to see as he was coming up.
Hey, fellas, I spoke with Vincent Para, Rojas' trainer. He's happy with what he sees. He just wants his guy to get to the latter half of the fight. That's where Verdejo has been discouraged. That's where he's been defeated these last few years. Tim, one thing, it's not just the motorcycle accident. It's an accident in the shower. It's a lack of desire. It's a new manager. It's a new trainer. At some point, Felix Verdejo has to look in the mirror and say, hey, it's me.
And he did somewhat in the fighter meetings, but blamed it on youth, blamed it on many things. But he said at the end of the day, I was the one that was going out and hanging out in the clubs late. I was the one making the youthful mistakes, and he said it before. He's not a kid anymore. And now it's time to man up and take controls of his career. That's why he moved out with Ismael Salas, the man who trained the likes of Guillermo Rigondeaux, of Yuriorkis Gamboa, all the great Cubans that Islan Lara who have come out in this last generation. And three-time Olympic champion Felix Savon is another one of the pupils of Ismael Salas. 3 rounds in the books here in our opening fight from Turning Stone Casino in Verona, New York. Side now, the Turning Stone Resort and Casino. A full house for Felix Verdejo taking on Manuel Rey Rojas. Later on in our main event, former world champion Alader Alvarez ends his 11-month layoff to take on power-punching Michael Seals. That's our main event. So far, Verdejo outlanding by 20 punches the game Manuel Rey Rojas. And the percentage, the efficiency, how you seeing this fight so far, Tim?
You know, Verdejo is controlling the fight in spots when he uses his jab and he comes with his combinations. But it's when he finishes his combinations when he gets caught. That's when you see Rojas comes back with his own combinations and Verdejo stays there just a little bit too long.
Speaking of guys who get caught or got caught, Tyson Fury says, I will not let that right hand put me down when I fight Deontay Wilder Saturday, February 22nd in the rematch. We'll hear from Deontay Wilder as he sat down with our own Joe Tessitore later on this evening. So far, Verdejo, when he's behind that jab, Tim, he's a different fighter.
Yes, he is. But, you know, one of the things that I saw Rey Rojas do, he's inside, right? He's inside, and then he backs up. You know, when he's inside, he's doing great work. He has to continue to move forward and bag up Verdejo.
Rojas had his best performance in an upset win against Ximing Wang in June of 2017. That was just 4 months after his mother passed away from cancer. He said, that changed my life. I've dedicated my career to her. And ever since then, he just believes that he's a different man.
Bernardo, Rojas also got some great sparring with Victor Postol,
who we'll be seeing in a few weeks out there in China. February 1st, he'll be challenging unified champion Jose Ramirez on Top Rank Boxing on ESPN on the eve of the Super Bowl. So don't miss that fight. So sometimes sparring helps one guy or both guys. I think in this case, Rojas is looking pretty good.
Yeah, definitely Rojas is, you know, he's confident. You know, that's what it takes. You have to be confident, especially when you go into a fight, especially when you fight a former world champion in Victor Postol, and just give you the confidence to get in here and do what you need to do.
Nice work to the body from Rojas with the right hand.
Wow.
Both guys stick with the jab. You see that mouse under the left eye of Verdejo starting to get a little bit more serious. Nice uppercut from Verdejo. Mouth is a little open. There's a little bit of blood there on the left side of the face of Felix Verdejo. I'm not sure if it's from his mouth or the eye. Verdejo Rojas in our opening fight, scheduled for 10 rounds here in Verona, New York. This is round 5. Bernardo Osuna alongside Timothy Bradley, and reprising the role of Bernardo Osuna or Cristina Pancher is our roving reporter, Mark Kriegel, this evening, who will be joining us throughout the night, bringing us corner reports and more. What's your impression so far of what we've seen from Rojas, Tim?
Rojas is picking his spots well. The only thing I don't like from Rojas is when he picks his spots, he gets inside, and then he backs out. If he was to continue to come forward and keep throwing those combinations, I think he'll be able to put Verdejo in more trouble. But I like what I'm seeing from both guys right now. It's a good match.
Those guys having questions asked of them and trying to find the answer. The blood that was on the face of Felix Verdejo, as we saw in the corner, was from a nosebleed. So you see it once again. Now it's on the right side. And what a stick jab from Felix Verdejo.
That's a beautiful jab from Verdejo. And when you land a stiff jab like that, you want to come behind it with a power shot. You know, why just land the jab just with single punch? Come behind it. You already blind him with the jab.
Already did the hardest part, which is get that first shot off the land. And as we talk about jabs, 34 of 95 landed at a 36% efficiency for Felix Verdejo. Only 19 of 139 for Manuel Rey Rojas. Talked about working from a great range and controlling the distance. I think Verdejo's doing a very good job of
now
that.
He is. Now he is. He's sticking the jab, not coming behind it with anything, but the jab is working for him. Beautiful stick right there. It's frustrating Rojas right now.
Can't get away from it.
Can't get away from it, and he can't get inside where he needs to be successful.
There it is once again. Just a quick flash, and here, once Rojas does get inside, good work to the body from Verdejo. Inside work from Verdejo as Rojas tried to work the body. Oh, nice long right hand from Manuel Rey Rojas, stuns Verdejo. He gives a smile, and once you smile, you're letting your opponent know, you got me.
Yeah, Verdejo went to sleep for just a second. You can't fall asleep in there. He was having success, got a little happy, got a little bit relaxed, and boom, right hand from Rojas.
See now how he comes over with a nice right. About halfway through this fight, on February 1st, we'll be in China. Jose Ramirez makes his mandatory world title defense against former titleist Victor Postol. Mark Kriegel caught up with the unified champion at the Wildcard Gym in Hollywood.
If he has his way, those are the next two guys he fights. Let's start with Taylor, each undefeated, champions with 2 belts. Ramirez, says he needs that fight next, just like he needed Maurice Hooker. And just like Hooker, he doesn't care where it was or who is promoting it. Well, guess what? The day after we spoke, Josh Taylor signed with Top Rank. Lucky us.
Ramirez wants to fight Josh Taylor for that undisputed belt, and Terrence Crawford was the last man to be undisputed junior welterweight champion. And how great would it be in 2020 to get another undisputed champ at 140 pounds? The right hand by Rojas was probably the best punch of the night.
2 things happen. Watch Rojas as he dips low right here, takes the eyes of Verdejo down. Verdejo fell asleep for just a moment, backed up, and was hit with the straight right hand. Here he is. Boom, right down the middle. You know, Verdejo saw that punch coming. He did. He saw it coming, but he stood straight up, so he couldn't get out of the way of it.
I was going to ask you, if he saw it coming, why couldn't he get out of the way? And that's the explanation.
Exactly.
That's why you're a future Sam Talbot word winner. You came with the description and the explanation.
Hey, my man Dre Money won that, baby. Congratulations, Andre Ward. Broadcaster of the year.
I heard you and Kriegel have a bet who's going to win next.
It's probably going to be Kriegel. Great body shots right there.
On this crew, we've got Teddy Atlas was the first.
Wow.
I won that as well. Joe Tessitore, Max Kellerman. Step it up, fellas.
Working on it.
So is Rojas trying to get inside here. The second half of the fight, this is where he said he felt he was going to be most effective. But I don't see any signs of Verdejo slowing down, although there was a nice exchange, both trying to land the right hands.
Yeah, you know, when you trying to land the right hand, you got to understand, you have to get your head off the line. A lot of guys, a lot of trainers, they teach to keep your head on the line when you're throwing the right hand. When you throw the straight right hand or looping right hand, you get your head to the left, off the line, then you won't get hit with your opponent's right hand.
You know, for the longest time, as the crowd starts to yell "Bori Bori" for Verdejo, he was being urged to leave the island, to find a new trainer, and he finally did it with Salas. Are you seeing any changes in him, either on the technical or on the mental side?
Well, right now, I'm giving him a pass. He's been out. He's been out for a long time. Salas did slow his feet down. Well, that was one of the things that I wanted to see. Can he slow his feet down? Because Verdejo has a habit of just bouncing around for no apparent reason. But he has a good jab. He's throwing some good body shots. And he's not left hook happy.
10 seconds to the bell.
Before he was really left hook happy.
Well, when you want to be the next Trinidad, you've got to have a good left hook as we finish here with round number 6.
Time!
Oh, and he gets the week off.
All he keeps doing is winning. That's all Dre do. That's all he knows how to do is win.
Undefeated.
Undefeated, baby. And he's the last American gold medalist.
Last male.
Claressa
Shields.
Shields. I'm sorry, because Carissa be listening.
Yeah, she'll come after you. T-Rex don't play.
No, she
We
don't.
were there watching her last win, where she became the quickest to 3 world titles.
She's a beast.
Yeah, 3 divisions. So big ups to Claressa Shields. And we see the exchange there from Rojas and Verdejo. Rojas trying to step to Verdejo now.
As he should. You know, he gotta take him to deep water. He has to pressure him. He has to see what's inside of Verdejo.
Rojas' trainer, Vincent Paris, says, my guy's letting this be too close. He has to sell out. We know Verdejo's the A side. We have to take more chances.
You know how good Mark Kriegel is? He finds the camera. Look at him hiding there behind the camera. He could have been in any corner, but he goes right there and finds the camera. Yes, I'm talking about you, Mark.
Yeah.
He wants to show off that nice tie, the Prada suit. Nice jab there from Felix Verdejo. The thing is, neither guy throws a lot of punches. That's been characteristic of Felix Verdejo, and I haven't seen a difference in that. I expected that Ismael Salas would want him to be a little bit more offensive.
A little bit more offensive. I mean, the Cuban style is the counter-punching. His counter-punching. I love his body work. I love the fact that Verdejo's working both sides, the right and the left to the body. I love his jab. I'm waiting on Rojas to time that jab. It's at the same pace, at the same rate. He should be looking for the right hand over the top of Verdejo's jab.
You know, and as I say that, I look at the numbers, and he's landed 60 more punches than Manuel Rey Rojas, landing 103 of 298, while Rojas had landed 43. So he's very efficient, very effective. Just got caught there in the 5th round, stunning Verdejo. So it's one of those fights where Verdejo has everything going for him. Not spectacularly, but doing things round by round. That's how you win a fight.
Well, it's just, you know, you want to win every second of the round, or try to win every second of the round. You got to be focused. Verdejo took some shots. I've seen him take some shots on the chin. He took them well, but you got to understand that Rojas doesn't have any punching power. Really has 5 KOs out of his 18 fights.
Nice jab there from Verdejo to punctuate another solid round. That should go in his favor.
Jab. The jab isolates your opponent. It throws his rhythm off. It doesn't allow him to get to where he wants to be. It's frustrating when you're getting hit in the face over and over and over with the jab from your opponent. Game plan out the window.
One of the most underrated punches in boxing, and tonight, Verdejo's textbook with it. Nice. Once again with the stick from Felix Verdejo. He's not really moving his head, though, once he lands that jab. Not getting off the line. And that's always dangerous. You mentioned it. Rojas is not a puncher, but if he lands, anybody can get hurt, as we saw in that 5th round. The one thing I think that Rojas will take away from this fight is the fact that he's only gone past 50 punches in that 7th round, and he's going to wish he did a lot more.
He just got to let his hands go. He's right where he needs to be, Rojas, but he just needs to let his hands go. He needs to sell out if he wants to win this fight.
There's that combination.
Exactly. Now he's stepping forward like he should, but Rojas needs to move his head after he throws his combinations.
Because if not, he'll get hit with that.
Yeah, because, you know, your opponent's going to throw where he last saw your head. So if you move your head, you'll make him miss.
Good body work there from Verdejo, but Rojas answers with a left hook of his own. So now we see Rojas reacting a lot better as Verdejo is not moving out of the way. He's kind of finding where Verdejo is once he lets his punches go. But no answers for that jab so far.
No answers for that jab. Occasionally you will see a response because Verdejo's throwing one jab. He's throwing it at the same rate, the same pace every single time. I just can't believe that Rojas can't time that jab. He needs to time that jab. It's not like it's coming, 2 times. It's only coming once. It's not a double jab. It's only a single jab.
And you mentioned early on in this fight, there's nothing coming behind it, even the right hook.
Yes.
It's just a single jab to stick on him.
But those body shots are coming after.
Fellas, I think the question is, what would Verdejo do against a guy with power?
That was my point, Mark. That was my point. He got hit with some solid shots, early in this fight. And if a guy did have punching power, I'm not sure Verdejo will be here. I don't know. He could be on the canvas. You never know.
And the other question is, how much power does he have? He's,
nice right
16 knockouts in 25 fights, but of late, he had 10 knockouts in his first 13 fights and only 6 knockouts in his last 13. So as the level of opposition has gotten better, his power has declined.
Yeah, well, as the level of opposition goes up, it becomes harder to knock guys out.
80% of the fight is in the books. The last 2 rounds when we return. Solid combination punching from Felix Verdejo in that 8th round.
Absolutely. Here you're going to see Verdejo. He's going to get his head off the line right here. He's going to dip with 2 body shots and come up with a left hook at top. Here he goes again. See, his head is right on the line. He gets his head off the line, dips, goes down to the body with the right hand, then come up with the left, and then come right around the guard of Rojas with the left hook. Beautiful job by Verdejo.
Pretty good with that machine, ain't it?
I like that thing. This thing is cool.
It's like playing a video game.
That's right.
It's more like old school, like we were used to, right? Like the Atari 2600 and the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, man. Atari, I don't know. That's a little bit,
Is that? Am I dating myself?
Yeah, you sure are, buddy. Shoot. Nintendo? Okay. Now we talking. Remember back with the cartridges blowing inside the cartridges?
When they didn't work. Nice jab from Felix Verdejo, now bringing it downstairs. And, Ismael Salas, his trainer, first time they've been together, he was very happy with what the work that Verdejo did in that last round. Rojas trying to triple jab on Verdejo. Slipped most of those punches. Makes him miss, makes him pay to the body. Fight's slowing down a little bit here in the 9th round. Oh, nice 1-2 from Verdejo.
Beautiful shot right there.
That's one of the few times he followed up the jab.
That was a nice, but it was a nice step back. It was a half a step back. It was beautiful. Half a step back, and then came in behind with his jab, and then the right hand right behind it.
Another word, nice right to the body from Felix Verdejo as Rojas tries to stalk him, walk him down. Verdejo got that high guard, earmuffs on.
I do see some improvement in Verdejo's right hand. Verdejo was a left hook slugger. He always looked for the left hook. And, nice chopping left hook right there from Verdejo.
Nice left hook there from Rojas.
But he is now throwing his right hand. And the one thing that I like about his right hand is that he's not lunging forward when he throws it. He's in good position.
A very solid performance from Felix Verdejo. And we expected that technically he would improve with Ismael Salas in his corner, because the Cuban trainer is a professor. He's a teacher. And you're seeing that happening, you know, the learning and the execution of Verdejo.
I'm definitely seeing it in spots. Definitely seeing it in spots. It's not fluent. Not yet. But this is their first fight together, so give it some time.
Nice head movement. It gets caught there on the last shot from Rojas, who's finally letting his hands go a little bit more here in the 9th round. Another left hook to the body from Felix Verdejo. All right, round 10 coming up after the bell here in Verona, New York, with Felix Verdejo putting in a solid performance. Best punch of the night for Verdejo has been that jab. Finally, in that 9th round, Tim, he followed it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally follows up with a right hand. But you see, Rojas throws his jab. Verdejo threw his jab at the same exact time and then came around his jab with the right hand. Beautiful job for Verdejo.
Talk about using that 2-inch reach advantage. That's exactly the benefit.
We call that a jab with a jab. That's what we call it.
Thank you.
Jab with the jab, buddy.
Appreciate that. Learn something new every day.
Ismael Salas says the jab has been the key to this entire fight and to Verdejo's progress as a fighter, especially on his way back. He wants this fight in the center of the ring. He's actually happy with what he's seen. He's seeing Verdejo less on his front foot, although he's not there yet. He cautions, however, Verdejo's a work in progress, but I have no doubt he can be the fighter we thought he was.
Break, no punches.
Main event still to come. It'll be a later Alvarez taking on Michael Seals. Crossroad fight in the return after 11 months off of the former champion, who was coming off of 2 fights against Sergey Kovalev. And at some point, that's the dream for Felix Verdejo, to get that world title opportunity. You know, he's still a work in progress. He's 26 years old, but he understands he's not as far along as he should be. But today, he took a big step in the right direction.
Yeah, he needed to take his time. I like the fact that Verdejo did the right thing by changing the circumstances, honestly. You know, Verdejo, you know, with his new trainer, Salas, I mean, he's brought back the passion needed for him to continue this journey. He said he lost passion for the sport of boxing when he was going through it, you know, and I'm just glad to see him back. He looks good here, man. You know, there's some things that he can improve on, but I think it's a solid performance so far by Verdejo.
Becoming a father also helped Felix Verdejo mature. He's got that reason to fight now, and it's a very solid overall performance. Nothing spectacular from Verdejo, but it should be a solid win for him against a very workmanlike Manuel Rey Rojas.
Ooh, jab by both guys right there.
What's that called, Tim?
Jab with the jab.
Ah, yes. Oh, nice jab there. No jab with the jab there. It was just Verdejo getting to the spot first and getting offline.
Nice hook from Verdejo right there. That was a nice check hook, and Verdejo stepped around after the check hook.
3-punch combination from Verdejo, trying to punctuate this 10th round in what will go down as a very solid performance from Bori Bori, the fighter out of Puerto Rico, who still dreams of becoming that idol that he was expected to become after the Olympics, where he lost against Vasily Lomachenko on his way to an Olympic gold medal. You see the respect of the 2 trainers, Ismael Salas and Vincent Parra, in the center of the ring, and the congratulations for his new pupil, as Cuba's Ismael Salas is content with the work of Felix Verdejo. And Vincent Parra, well, he's got to be content with what his fighter did, maybe